Welcome back to Coins Numismatic Series. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating small denomination coins in American history, the 1971 Lincoln penny, a humble copper coin that hides a world of history, craftsmanship, and value behind its simple design. If you've ever come across a 1971 penny in your collection or pocket change and wondered whether it's worth holding onto, you're about to find out exactly why this little coin can make collectors' hearts race. Let's begin with the backdrop, the year 1971. America was in the midst of major cultural, political, and economic change. The Vietnam War was ongoing, NASA had just wrapped up another Apollo mission, and the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of coins to support a rapidly growing economy. But among the countless coins minted that year, one stood out for its precision, quality, and the tiny but significant mint mark beneath the date, the 1971 Lincoln penny, struck at the San Francisco Mint. Now, the San Francisco Mint had a long tradition of producing coins with superior craftsmanship, especially proof coins intended for collectors. But in 1971, the Mint also struck circulation quality pennies with the S mark, although in much smaller quantities compared to Philadelphia or Denver. These 1971 pennies were not just about everyday commerce, they carried with them a legacy of the Lincoln cent design that began way back in 1909. Let's talk design. The obverse, or front, of the coin, features the instantly recognizable profile of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It's one of the most enduring designs in American coinage history, celebrating the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth when it first appeared. Brenner's initials, VDB, were famously added and removed multiple times from the coin throughout history due to early public controversy, but by 1971, they were discreetly placed on the coin's reverse, just below the wheat ears in earlier designs, and later beneath the shoulder on the obverse after the memorial reverse was introduced in 1959. By 1971, the reverse design displayed the Lincoln Memorial, the grand monument in Washington, D.C., designed by Frank Gasparo. What makes this reverse so special, and something many collectors love to point out, is that if you look closely, you can actually see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial, right between the central columns. It's a detail that symbolizes the depth of artistry the U.S. Mint infused into even the smallest denomination coin. Now, let's get technical for a moment. The 1971 Lincoln penny was struck from the same bronze alloy used since 1962, a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Each coin weighs about 3.11 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. This alloy gives the coin its classic reddish-brown appearance, though over time, depending on storage and circulation, the color can shift to various shades of brown, red-brown, or even a dark patina. When we talk about fine condition, it's important to understand what that means in the world of numismatics. A coin graded as fine, typically corresponding to a grade of F12 on the Sheldon scale, shows moderate wear across the high points of the design, but all major details remain visible. On the obverse, Lincoln's hair, cheek, and jawline will show some smoothness, but his profile remains sharp. The reverse will show clear details of the Lincoln Memorial's outline and columns, though some of the finer details, like the steps or statue, might be slightly worn. Even in this circulated state, the 1971 Lincoln penny holds historical and collectible value, especially when well preserved. Now, here's where things get really interesting for collectors, the varieties and errors associated with the 1971 Lincoln cent. During this year, the San Francisco Mint also struck proof coins for collectors, which are easy to distinguish from circulation strikes because of their mirror-like surfaces and frosted designs. However, a small number of circulation quality coins from the Mint have been found with striking errors or die varieties that make them quite valuable. The most famous of these is the 1971 Doubled Die Obverse, DDO, a variety where the date and lettering on the front show clear doubling, most noticeably on the Liberty and In God We Trust. This doubling occurred due to a misalignment during the die creation process, and these coins are highly sought after by collectors. In pristine condition, this variety can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Even in fine condition, a genuine 1971 doubled die penny can bring in a significant premium over face value. But even without errors, the 1971 penny is a coin worth studying and preserving. Its low mintage compared to the Philadelphia and Denver issues makes it scarcer in circulation. To put things into perspective, While the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1.9 billion pennies and Denver churned out about 2.9 billion, the San Francisco Mint circulation strike numbers were under 100 million, a mere fraction of the total output. That makes the penny of 1971 one of the more desirable issues for collectors assembling a complete Lincoln cent collection by date and mint mark. Collectors often seek out coins in every grade to fill those small but important gaps in their albums. For many hobbyists, finding a well-preserved 1971 penny in fine condition is an achievement. It tells a story of a coin that has circulated for decades yet retains its key features and beauty. Let's talk about the value and market trends. While a circulated 1971 penny in fine condition might only fetch a modest price, perhaps between 10 to 20 cents from a dealer, the story doesn't end there. Coin collecting isn't always about immediate monetary gain, it's about the preservation of history and the thrill of discovery. And here's the exciting part: if you find a coin in better condition, such as extremely fine, XF, or even mint state, MS, or if it happens to be a proof or an error coin, you're looking at a piece that could be worth anywhere from several dollars to hundreds. In the world of Lincoln cents, condition is king. A fine condition 1971 is like a piece of history with visible signs of life, evidence that it passed through the hands of Americans in the early 70s, during a time when a single penny still had meaningful purchasing power. You can imagine this coin jingling in someone's pocket as they bought a newspaper for 5 cents or a cup of coffee for a dime. Every scratch and mark is part of its story. Another fascinating detail about the 1971 penny lies in the transition of minting technology during that era. The early 1970s marked a time when the U.S. Mint began experimenting more with automated processes and improvements in die creation. Despite these advancements, the mint mark continued to represent precision and quality, and coins from San Francisco were held to higher aesthetic standards, even for general circulation. Now, for those who enjoy coin roll hunting, the 1971 Lincoln penny is a thrilling find. It's not a coin you'll come across every day in circulation today. Most have been pulled out by collectors or simply worn out and removed from the system. But every so often, a bright copper coin with that small S will appear in a roll, and that's when the excitement kicks in. For many collectors, finding one of these coins feels like unearthing a relic from a different era, a piece that connects you directly to the past. If you're thinking about adding one to your collection, make sure to store it properly. Copper coins are sensitive to moisture and oils from the skin, which can cause toning or corrosion over time. Use cotton gloves when handling your coins and store them in a protective holder, preferably one that's acid-free and designed for long-term preservation. Finally, let's not forget the symbolic weight of the Lincoln cent itself. It's the longest-running design in U.S. coinage history, having been minted continuously since 1909. Through its various transitions, from wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial, and later to the Union Shield design, the penny has served as a small but powerful reminder of American heritage. The 1971 issue, in particular, sits at a sweet spot in this timeline, old enough to be historic, yet modern enough to be accessible for collectors of all ages. So, the next time you find a 1971 Lincoln penny, take a moment to appreciate what it represents. It's not just a coin. It's a tiny copper time capsule, a blend of artistry, craftsmanship, and history that continues to inspire curiosity decades after it was struck. Whether you collect for value, beauty, or the story each coin tells, this little cent from San Francisco deserves its place in your collection, not for its price tag, but for the journey it's taken to reach your hands. That's the magic of numismatics, finding extraordinary stories in the most ordinary of places. Thanks for watching Coins Numismatic Series. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1971 Lincoln penny, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next exploration into the fascinating world of coins. Every coin has a story, and we're here to tell it.